Okay, now guys, welcome back to Remiel Programming Language channel, and today we are going to be diving into the Remiel syntax explained and informative examples. So we are going to be diving into the syntax, and we are going to know why the semantics are made like that, and also we are going to be making video one by one explaining deep details about a specific function in Remiel. And this playlist main is going to be focusing on that, the Remiel syntax and its semantics, and all the types of data, the keywords, the identifiers, the end of file, anything in Remiel will be explained in this. And I'm going to be starting with the following. Let's dive in. So we have what we call the syntax mode declaration. Now the syntax mode declaration, mainly it is like declaring a mode to the version of your code. So in Remiel you need to declare the mode of your version. So we have the strict mode, the dynamic mode, and the universal mode. The strict mode mainly is going to be made like typing the language but in a strict way, and the dynamic mode is going to be mainly typing a language in a dynamic way or dynamically typed language, and the universal mode will be mainly like typing a language both using strict and dynamic. Like you can type with data type and keep a variable, or you cannot type with data type and keep a variable. So those are the modes mainly in Remiel. And Remiel, the first line, it is mainly made for the mode declaration only. You can't put a comment or the first line. Mainly the comment can go under the start of the program. So we are going to be diving also on the next syntax. Let's now first know how the modes work in this section. Now we are going to begin with the strict mode. So this mode is made for compilation, and we are going to know why it is made for compilation. It is like a compiler or a compiler mode where the program that it is compiled to the machine code, like how compilers make it. So in this mode the data types are required and the syntax is strictly to avoid the inner syntax errors. So as we can know that the errors or the syntax errors can be syntax or logical errors in the program, so this mode can help us to optimize the code and to prevent the syntax errors in the code. Note, every mode is needed for the compiler to know which mode is the source code, whether it is compiled or not. So in every program, the first line, it will be made for the mode declaration, that in your first line of the program you put the mode declaration that strict or dynamic or universal. Now let's dive into the dynamically or the dynamic mode. So this mode is made for interpreters, like putting Python in Remiel Programming Language. So when we say like this, it is like writing the language in dynamically mode, and this mode is like a dynamically typed language that the person doesn't need to put the data types or to strictly type the language for fast prototypes in development. Mainly it was made that a programmer just goes there, like he's going to be writing in an interpreted language, or is fully going to be writing the interpreted language. Now when we dive into the universal mode, in this mode the language, it is universally typed. In this case it allows all the modes like dynamic and strict mode for both types. So in this mode you are allowed to do anything you want. Like if I want to type in like in dynamic, you can type. If you want to type in strict, you can type. So it is like a universal, or it's like the intersection of other modes, they can meet together. So, and this, it was made that we can also have this for the programmers that they want to use both, like both dynamic and strict programs. And also we have what we call that it runs in a JIT. When I say JIT in simple terms, we call it just in time, and it is I made it that it is easy for the programmers not to switch between languages for finding the compiled one, interpreted, or just in time. So this makes the programmer that will have one weapon or one powerful language that he can use, that if I want to do it in just in time, I'll use now the universal mode. If I want to do it like interpreted, therefore I interpret the language. If I want it in the compiled one, therefore I use the compiled mode. So let's see more features. Now you may ask yourself that why free modes in one language? So this made it, or I made it, that the programmer does not need to change from one language to other language looking for the best type. It makes that the programmer has one toolkit that they can use even if he downloads on that one. But I recommend that it is better that also to learn other languages, because they also are better languages where Remiel came from, where it originates some of the features and where some of the features of other languages that makes up the Remiel. So I recommend that you can go and get the other language. The programmer can experiment with the language and enhance its performance with the unique features and also the ecosystem. The programmer does not need to go to other language. You can use the program to handle complex and complicated programs, that a programmer can do it more to handle anything which seems complex and complicated to him or her, that can manage it using Remiel Programming Language. So now the next video in this playlist, you're going to be handling what we call the program structure. So the program structure, for example, you're going to be having the mode, like the strict mode. You're going to be having the start, the statements, and the end. So we're going to be also seeing the full example of the next video, what we'll be talking about, and I wish that you can also watch it and also comment what you think about the Remiel Programming Language. Will it work out, or we need to change something, or it is better that we continue with the vision to see what's going on with the Remiel Programming Language. I hope that you can get a good audience and also to get that love Remiel Programming Language, also to try and experiment with these new features, what the language it is offering to the programmers and developers out there, also people who love teach and technology. So the next video, what is going to be about, is going to now learn about the program structure and how the program it will go. Let's see now the example of the code. So the next video full example is like this. We are going to be having the strict mode as our mode. The start statements will go there, and the end. That was this program structure which we are going to be talking about, the cinematics of it, how to write it, the rules that follows it, and to be done in the next video. So if you like the video, you can subscribe, you can comment if you want to develop or to learn more about languages. We're going to be publishing the languages, the semantics, how to make them, the syntax, the paradigms. So right now Remiel, it is imperative and it is procedural. So soon we're going to be introducing object-oriented programming, the Remielistic paradigm, if I hope that it can be made. So also if I can improve it, or I can add it into the programming language. So now let's see what's going on to the world. Now if you like the video, please subscribe to the channel, so you can go and follow up the Neural Innovation Network, which is the main board for the Neural Innovation team, and Neural Innovation teams one which makes the projects. So the projects, we have what we call the Remiel Programming Language. And Remiel Programming Language, it is mainly made by Remiel Holiday or Chibirango Asman. So those are my views about the Remiel Programming Language, and I'm waiting for your feedback to see what you can talk about the Remiel Programming Language, and also to see what we can add or implement there. If you like the syntax, you can drop a comment. If you dislike anything about it, you can also drop a comment. I know I read all the comments and I reply to all of them that are so impactful and that are going to build up the Remiel Programming Language and also the community of the Neural Innovation Network. See you in the next video for program structure.